Barnaby Jones, starring Buddy Ebsen. Also starring Lee Merriweather, with guest stars Jackie Coogan, Arlene Galanka, Heidi Vaughn, Jonathan Lippy, Paul Lambert. Tonight's episode, Sing a Song of Murder.
In here.
I'll see him after the show. But why do I have to spend all night waiting for him? I mean, why, Sue? After all, we're his business managers.
Because he's the whale and you're the scavenger, Mr. Rooney. Definite? Uh-huh. See you later. Much later.
Lucky.
Rick must be settling down. 2 nights in a row with the same chick. Anything I can do for you, Gloria?
Everything's cool, Smitty. Thanks.
Oh, you're crazy, Rick.
Oh, we're here.
Hey, what's up?
I want you.
Okay, try and get it. You can't.
Hey, come back with my pool!
I got
I'm making you a fool. Rick? Stop it! Rick, please! Please!
Look, Sue, maybe you ought to wait till tomorrow. You know, Rick is going to want to talk contracts.
We're settling it now.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning, you know. He could be dead to the world already, or what if he's got one of his girls?
Please, spare me your concern for him, huh? Show a little for us. Or haven't you looked at the bank statements of the mighty management concern of Rooney and Page, Mr. Rooney? Now, Rick happens to be the only money maker we've got. And that's because I brought him to you. And I am not gonna let him get away.
Hello? Gloria, it's me. Listen, you gotta help me, please. April? What's wrong? We were just playing, that's all. Just Rick and me.
Rick! Ricky, you back there? Rick!
April, what happened?
Rick! Where are you? Rick! Hey, Rick, where? Sue! Don't look, Sue. He must have gone off the board and right onto his skull. Where are all those dames that are usually with him to stop him?
Whoever stopped Rick Michaels from doing anything.
Wow. Oh, boy. Sue.
Where are you going?
Well, there's a lot of things I gotta do. I gotta call an ambulance, call the police.
No. What we've got to do is not rush into anything. And what you've got to do is listen to me.
About what? The poor kid's dead.
Nobody else knows that.
Oh, you want a scoop for Variety or Rolling Stone, huh? Yeah, I can see the headline. Miss Sue Page announces that...
There still could be money in him for us yet.
I never heard of any lawyers paying commissions on dead superstars.
Who else knows that? Think about it. What does Carl Ludwig lose if Rick can't finish that concert tour? How much does it cost Earl Sampson if they don't finish that album or cut the other two for this year?
Now, look, honey. I know you can work miracles, but this is just a little beyond that. All right. Maybe Ludwig and Sampson lose $1 million, maybe $2 million, maybe $4 million. Who cares what they lose?
They care. That's why they'll pay $500,000 for Rick.
$500,000? To who?
It's kidnappers.
Kidnap? You mean kidnap the... You're crazy.
Am I? All right, call the police. We wind up with nothing. On the other hand, if we get rid of the body, find a ransom note, call Sampson and Ludwig, we make maybe $500,000.
All right. If they pay the money, they'll expect to get Rick back.
The kidnappers panic. The body was never found.
How do we get rid of the body?
With the rest of the garbage, darling.
smell like this?
It smells like money.
And the next thing I know, I get this spaced out call from her. She didn't make any sense. I have never heard anyone sound so scared. And then there was nothing.
Was she still with Rick Michaels when she called?
I have no idea. That's what's got me so uptight. She was hung up on him, sure, but he's way out. Freaky.
About April, Miss Vickers. Is she freaky?
Look, I know what you're thinking, but April didn't trip out. Not on hard stuff or on pills. She drinks a little. Maybe more than a little.
She might have been drunk when she made the call.
Maybe. But I know April. And she wouldn't cry wolf unless there was a problem. Something was wrong.
Why didn't you call the police?
April is my closest friend. And Rick is her friend. And he's a star. I didn't want to cause bad publicity.
You didn't want to open April's can of peas until you could see what was on the label.
Look, I'm worried. I want somebody to find out what's happened to her.
Miss April,
Yes,
I'll keep this if I may.
please.
You happen to have an address for this Rick Michaels?
Yeah. That and the address of the unemployment office is something we never forget.
Sue, what is so important you couldn't tell me on the phone? I had to change appointment with two of our record producers. I'm flying to London on the 4 o'clock flight.
Cancel it, Earl.
Carl, what are you doing here? Bill?
Same reason you are, Earl. Only it's not my concert bookings. Well, it is and it isn't. Earl, tell your secretary to cancel your flight. Use the phone in the car, please.
Barry, cancel it. All right, what's happened with Rick?
He's been kidnapped, Earl.
Kidnapped? Holy. Well, is he all right? Kidnapped? Now, are you sure it's not some joke?
Yeah, Sue and I got over here about 10 o'clock this morning.
From the top, Earl. Phil and I met at the office this morning at 9 o'clock as usual. Compared notes about the concert. Phil drove us over. We found that note. No sign of Rick anywhere. He hadn't even been to bed.
Did you call the FBI or the police?
We thought we ought to call you fellows first. I mean, after all, you're close friends of Rick's, and he is the biggest star of both your companies, and so we figured we sort of owed it to you.
Well, I don't see what good it did, frankly, except waste time. The authorities know how to handle these things.
No, Sue. Phil's right. Don't you think so, Carl? If you call the police in on this, kidnappers will kill Rick. Look what they threaten.
Absolutely. We can't afford to take any chances. You pay the ransom and get him back. We'll call the police and play it all by the books.
Well, that's easier said than done about paying the ransom.
Well, one of you must have Rick's power of attorney.
Gentlemen, this may come as a shock to you, but Rick Michaels doesn't have $5,000 to his name, let alone $500,000.
But I paid him over $800,000 last year for 35 concerts.
3 gold record albums of ours?
Gentlemen, Rick Michaels isn't even above water with the IRS. Now, come on. You know him. Well, you know how wild he was. You remember when he gave that $24,000 Maserati to a DJ?
Well, now we know. All of it. I guess I better call the FBI.
No, Phil, wait.
Hold it, Phil.
Wait. We'll raise the money.
Earl. Oh, Carl. Oh, Rick will never forget you for this. I won't let him. He'll be thanking you for the rest of his life.
The important thing right now is getting him back as soon as possible. Now, that's the only thing. We've got a fortune riding on that kid. Now, I wouldn't want to have anything happen to him, of course, but business is business. We've got to protect our investment. All of us.
Did you call anybody else, Sue?
No, of course not.
Well, get rid of whoever it is. We can't afford to have anybody else around here.
Good morning. My name is Jones, Barnaby Jones. I'm trying to locate a young lady, April Dayton. I understand she was with Mr. Michaels last night.
Well, there's no April Dayton here, Mr. Jones. I'm sorry.
Well, perhaps Mr. Michaels might know where she is or could tell me where I could find her. Could I see him?
I'm sure Mr. Michaels doesn't keep track of every young girl he knows or of every groupie who says she knows him. Now, look, I'm very busy.
Well, I'd appreciate it if I could ask him the question myself. He was with her last night. They started out the evening together.
He's a very busy man, Mr. Jones. If you give me your card, I'm sure he'll call you if he can be of any help.
Well, thank you, Miss...
Ms. Page. I'm his manager.
Thank you.
Not me. Well, somebody turned it on. Some idiot. Now, who'd be so stupid? I left instructions that plaster had to dry. I have to do the thing all over again. I have more trouble with musicians' pools. What is it with musicians? I mean, you have to be a nut to be a musician.
How'd you like to have to reseed? You appreciate how much attention it takes to get grass to take hold during the rainy season?
What's the trouble, gentlemen?
You from the real estate broker? You handle this rental here?
What's the problem?
Well, I'll tell you what the problem is. Some idiot turned on the water on the new resurfacing, and it's all completely shot.
When did they turn it on?
When? Oh, 6-8 hours ago, judging by the rate of flow.
3 o'clock in the morning?
Right. Rick Michaels, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and look at that. Those ruts, those footprints all over. You'd think they could tell it was new earth. And those new plantings back by the fence all trampled. You know, people never stop to consider that plants are living things too.
It's from the shoes April was wearing.
You're positive?
I ought to be. They're my shoes. Where'd you find it?
Near Rick's pool. Did you do that checking I asked you to?
Yeah, no one's seen her. What did Rick say?
I didn't get to see him yet. Do you happen to know April's blood type?
Why? What happened?
I don't jump to conclusions.
Blood type? You're holding out on me. There's got to be something wrong.
No, no, take it easy. You're my client, and if there was anything wrong, I'd tell you.
Promise?
Promise.
Well, as a matter of fact, she does keep a hospital ID. Come on. I think it's type A. Or AO. I always forget. Here it is, Mr. Jones. It is type A.
Is April a diabetic?
How'd you know?
Prescription for Oranase.
You know, if she doesn't take that medicine every day, she really gets sick.
Barnaby Jones' office. May I help you?
Betty, try and locate a Dr. Floyd Hemmings in West Los Angeles. Tell him it's urgent that we locate April Dayton. If she should happen to call in or have a pharmacist call in to renew a prescription for Oranase, ask him to notify us immediately.
Oranase. Can do. Anything else?
No, thanks. I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.
Mr. Jones, if April is too uptight to come back here for her medicine, she can really be in trouble.
Well, wouldn't she be sensible enough to go see her own doctor?
She's not sensible. That's why I'm worried. She'd go to street people. I know she would.
Like who?
You know Smitty? Instead of John Doe, he calls himself Smith. Just Smith. The crowd April runs with. You need something under the counter. Smitty's the first one you'd ask.
Well, I'll take help from anybody. Let's us go see Smitty.
The other one is in the car.
You sure they're exactly alike?
They're twins. I got one for cash from a department store, and the other one on my credit card from that luggage shop in Beverly. Sure wish this thing was over.
Philip. Now in exactly 1/2 hour, we get our first instructions from the kidnappers. And then we make sure that Earl or Carl stick with me and watch me every step of the way. Oh, for 15 years this town has kicked me around. And now I am finally gonna do it to them.
Rick Michaels' recording session's been temporarily postponed, no definite date. His one-nighter in Palo Alto on Wednesday's been canceled. The network has no information regarding rehearsal for the guest shot. How about you?
I don't have any yeses, but I got a couple of no's. The blood sample on the heel of her shoe is not hers. Neither is the dried blood on the telephone extension.
Is it Rick Michaels?
Yeah, why don't you give him a call, ask him what his blood type is? But it's not all negative. Take a look at this slide.
Sparkly stuff. Mica?
Yeah. Gunite, cement and plaster from the stuff that used to refinish his pool, the bottom of his pool. The sample came from her heel, too.
Carl, they called. Just now. Rick's all right. They guarantee... No, they wouldn't let me. Listen, we've got to have the money by 5 o'clock sharp. We get another call then. Good. Yes, Earl does too. Oh, okay, you'll bring it. Fine. See you then. Oh, look. We're all hanging in. You know that. You've got it. All of it.
Right on time. Glad you could make it, Mr. Jones. Well, Smitty said he could see us if we could make it by 5.
Fine. Where's his office?
Right here, he said.
Of course, we all know April. Lately, she's been coming up in the world. I don't know why she'd want to come to me.
We're both professionals. If you hear from April, give me a call, Mr. It is Smith.
It is, Jones?
For a long time. Here's 50. Be another 50 when you give me some information I can use.
Sounds heavy. I'll do what I can.
Call me anytime the service picks up.
I promised, didn't I? Hey, April, I'm gonna take care of you. My place is yours. You're very important to me.
Me? Why? Please, Smitty, give me my medicine.
Lately, you're very important to a lot of people, April. How come?
Same instrument?
Sure, we have 2 different numbers. I press the automatic dialer on the preset number, in this case our other line, and we've called ourselves.
You do think of everything.
What's the number of the phone booth at the gas station?
673-1673.
$4.20, $4.30, $4.40, $4.50, $4.60, $4.70, $4.80, $4.90, $500. Yes. Well, of course this is Sue Page. You recognize my voice, don't you? Is Rick all right? Can I speak to him? Oh, yes, I'm listening. Yes, we've got the money. No, of course it's not marked. No one's on an extension. Please, believe me, we're doing everything just like you say. The one up Osapulveda. Yes, I know the gas station. Right. Look, we'll do anything you say. We just want Rick back. In 30 minutes. Well, let me ask you one thing. Hello? Hello? Phil, put the money in the trunk.
Right.
Now, this is what they told me. Rick's all right. They want me in 30 minutes to meet them at this gas station.
It's right up to you, honey.
Oh, I'm scared. Carl, Earl, somebody come with me.
Do you think that'd be okay with...
Oh, nobody said not to.
I'll go with you. Carl, you and Phil stay here by the phones, okay?
You think Rick Michaels is dead?
I think somebody's dead. Michaels has certainly been out of circulation lately. Hotel News has been up there. Somebody, probably a couple of somebodies from the looks of the ground. They moved a heavy load in a wheelbarrow, probably a body, from the pool area down to a car, probably.
Well, maybe April isn't a victim. Maybe she's a criminal and she's running.
Maybe.
Where do Page and Rooney fit in?
Very protective, very uptight, very uncooperative. I'll go out on a limb and suggest that they're guilty of something that they want to keep quiet.
Well, if something happened to Michaels, wouldn't they want to find out the truth?
Betty, the answers are just as tough, but the questions are getting better all the time.
How's your drink?
Oh, nothing, Phil.
I'm going to freshen mine up.
What'd they say?
Take the money to the Sierra store in the valley. Leave it in the luggage department.
Okay, let's go.
If you've never taken a bus tour of Europe, then all the more reason for the double-reinforced lightweight two-seater. It's sturdy, it's handsome, and it closes positively tight. And your hardware is guaranteed for 10 years.
Come on.
Look, there's a guy who looks like...
Don't mouse it up.
Now, I'd suggest an English heather tone for your husband and a lovely...
This waiting is something else, I mean.
What can any of us do? Carl, I'm busy. We've both blown our whole schedule.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Sue, any hour of the night.
You know I will. I'll be right at the phone.
And thanks, Sue. All the thanks in the world. I'll never forget this.
Hello?
Hello, Ms. Page. Here's Barnaby Jones.
Mr. Jones, please don't bother me. I want to keep this line open, and I have nothing at all to tell you.
Well, I'm coming out to talk to you because I have some new information about April Dayton, and I want to check the facts with you.
Oh, hold on a minute. It's nothing at all. I'll get rid of it. Look, you know I'll call. We're all within 10 minutes of each other.
I'll walk out with you, fellas.
Sorry, Mr. Jones.
What you ought to know, Miss Page, is that I think there's been an accident, and with Miss Dayton missing and Mr. Michael, I'm looking into this pretty hard.
Well, I guess I can't stop you. And of course we want to cooperate, but...
Thank you, that's all I'm asking.
Join in that little drink. Do you realize what we've got? 5, 0, 0, comma, 0, 0, 0.
Put it in the closet.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? What don't I know?
That Barnaby Jones wants to come out here and talk about April.
Tell him to fall off.
All we have to do is cool it. Go quietly crazy for Earl and Carl's benefit. Sweat out enough time for Rick really to be missing. And now that old idiot has to come and butt in.
You really worried? Sue.
Oh, of course I'm worried. I don't like surprises. What if that sex pot was here? What if she saw Rick take that dive? Oh, I'm going to pass the word along to those groupies. Smitty, anybody, find that girl.
Why bother? Just for Jones? He thinks he's lost her. She just got found.
Barnaby Jones.
Mr. Jones, Sue Page.
Oh, hello, Ms. Page.
I've got great news. I was worried about April, too, of course, and I just heard from her.
Well, that's wonderful news. Where is she?
Oh, she's down at the Springs. She called because she was trying to get in touch with Rick about a date she won't be able to keep. She called from the racket club. But I'm not sure if she'd still be there. And she sounded just fine.
Well, Miss Page, thanks for taking all this trouble to call me. I appreciate it. It's a big help.
No trouble at all. Glad to. Bye. He's off our backs for a while.
We were playing around at the pool.
Which was empty.
Well, yes, of course it was empty. Then we got out on the board. And he slipped. After he didn't move at all.
If it was an accident, why didn't you contact Beverly Hills Emergency or the police?
I just panicked. And beside, I was busted once, Mr. Jones. And I heard people, voices. I knew they'd find Rick and do whatever. I was stoned. I split.
You heard voices. Men's voices, women's, both?
Both, I think.
Mr. Jones, couldn't she go home with me now and talk tomorrow?
Yeah, I guess you're right. The two of you are going home, get some rest.
But what about Rick? Does anybody really know?
If anybody knows, they're not talking.
Can I help?
Thanks. No, we're parked in the garage. We're fine now. Thanks for everything. Come on.
Of a car wash, what it is, Mr. Rooney, I don't blame you.
Well, you know the gag. My wife and my car, not necessarily in that order.
What's new, Mr. Jones?
Well, I came out because I thought I must have gotten the message wrong about April Dayton. She certainly isn't anywhere in Palm Springs.
When girls like April Dayton descend on Palm Springs, they're usually looking for a very cozy spot and very, very private action. Nobody could find her if she didn't want to be.
Hear anything from Mr. Michaels?
Nada.
Phil! Phone call. It's important. You better hurry.
We'll let you know if we hear anything at all. You got room enough to turn around okay?
All by myself, thanks.
Later. Him nothing.
He's coming closer all the time. Smitty just called.
Oh, so what's that little hustler got?
Dynamite.
So there he was out in the hot sun doing everything all wrong. $100 Italian shoes, soaking wet. $400 silk suit, all spattered. He came up to me like I was a side dish of spinach that he hadn't ordered. I just had to see what was so important about getting his car clean. Oh, Betty, over there in that envelope, there are the scrapings from the tire treads. Would you separate them for me?
It's okay, honey.
Well, how did you?
Gloria let me in. She's out doing some shopping. And I got the greatest news in the world for you.
Rick? Oh, tell me, is it about Rick?
He wants to see you right away.
He is all right? Oh, thank the Lord. Well, where is he, Smitty?
He's up at the house. He's not too clear on it. He's a little fuzzy yet. But he sure has been asking for you, honey.
Oh, that's the only medicine I need.
Orange peel. Eggshell, coffee grounds, and orange peel. What did that give you, Betty?
Breakfast?
I couldn't believe it it when Smitty told me.
Oh, Smitty had something to do.
But how is Rick? At least he's conscious and all right.
Pure luck or a thick skull. When did you leave, April? How much after?
Well, I'm getting it sorted out now. He fell, you know. Couldn't have been conscious when I went beside him. It scared me. It really scared me.
Then what did you do?
I was going to call. I did use the phone.
The one in the pool house?
Mm-hmm. But I hung up when I heard people coming. Well, I figured they'd take much better care of Rick than...
What people? Who, April? When? How long did you stay?
You found him. Now I remember. Our voices. You two found Rick dead.
It's a simple way to get some idea of how long this has been exposed to the air. Lead acetate turns dark in the presence of hydrogen sulfide.
Oh, it's not the prettiest odor.
No, some people call dried albumin rotten eggs. I'd say 3-4 days. Betty, get me Lieutenant Valdez.
You know, I still don't get it.
Put it all together and what do you got? Garbage. Plus fragments of aluminum, bits of tin. Rooney's car went to the garbage dump. And when you add in this decomposed granite, that makes it the dump off Mulholland. Worth a shot.
It's the way I'm gonna get rid of you, you old...
Resuscitator! Yes, sir. 10-4.
That girl's a lot healthier than some I've seen. She'll be all right once she gets over the effect of the chloroform.
Yes, April was lucky, and those two were lucky it wasn't murder.
Lieutenant Valdez,
Gentlemen, please, my clients have nothing to say at this time.
Don't look so smug, Mr. Jones. The girl's alive. We gave back all the money, and we didn't kill Rick. So you can't nail us with much.
I believe you're miscalculating. We just got a report from the coroner. Rick Michaels was still alive when you two shoved him into that bag. He died of asphyxiation. I believe the charge will be murder 1.